yourself to the crowd, Leonard.
Sure. My name is Leonard Epps, and I am a retired educator
Nice.
from the city of Hartford. After 32 years as a teacher and administrator, and I'm currently the president of the Brother Carl Hodrick Institute for Violence Prevention.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Everybody loves Brother Carl. You know.
Yeah, you definitely.
So why don't you tell for somebody who is like listening to the show for the first time, they just heard about the Brother Carl Institute and they don't know Brother Carl, like they're not from Hartford. Maybe give them a little bit about Brother Carl and why the institute was created. What's going on over there?
Sure. So Brother Carl is a legend, right? In the
Indeed,
city of
indeed,
Hartford,
indeed.
really the state. He's nationwide, really, because he's been out of the country. He's traveled throughout the country, and so he's a man that has really devoted his life to violence prevention.
Yeah.
And he was put into some early situations when it came to the gangs in Hartford, and because of his desire to, want to prevent violence and the harm of others, his name became, synonymous with really courage, I would say.
Yeah.
And so because of that, he began to, work with other organizations. He began to certainly do a lot of work with young people and groups around the city to just really keep the peace. And so, because of his work over, I want to say over 40 years of his reputation and his accomplishments, Joanne Price and Stephen Bear from the Jewish Federation actually decided to find a way to create more Brother Carls. That was their conversation. They were like, how can we have more people like him?
Right.
And so that's where the idea was born, right at the YMCA on Albany Avenue. And from there, the creation of the Institute was born. And so our goal is to, think about what does Brother Carl do, right? Or what has he done and what does he continue to do? And that is to build relationships. So the Institute is about collaboration with other organizations around violence prevention and protective factors, right? When I say protective factors, I mean, what are those things that help keep young people and adults from committing violence?
Right.
And so sometimes we just focus on the aftermath, but what our goal is to say, what keeps people healthy and whole. So
Yeah.
relationships with family, culture, education. And so those are the areas that we work in terms of providing training. We work with schools. We work with other organizations, like I said. And again, our goal is to create the community that, violence no longer becomes an option. And so we've been doing that now for going on 3 years,
Nice.
and we'll continue to do that. Using drums, using music, movement. We have a male component where we work with specifically young men and adult men to kind of bridge that gap. And so those are things that we've been trying to work on.
All right, I have a question.
Sir.
All right, so what? We were talking off camera a little bit about how the Artist Collective project we were doing. So you're a member, you're a part of that. So how does that influence that the Brother Carl? How's that influence at all the institution? Because I see you play drums, and that's part of the Artist Collective. But
He was going to talk about that next, the drum part. But I mean, go ahead.
I want to know how we infuse like the Artist Collective portion of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
they've been around for 55 years, right?
Yeah.
And he's 3 years in.
Right.
So I'm sure you took some of those things you learned back then into that. So how do you kind of apply those?
Yeah, so, it's literally is using the drum, right? We've played in different environments. We create drum circles, and we teach drumming. And the drum, again, is a uniting instrument, right? It brings people together, and it, increases, your self-esteem. It increases there's so much research around, lowering blood pressure and your depression, etc. So the drum can be an instrument that can be used to create that vibe or that energy where when you're finished playing, the last thing you want to do is hurt somebody,
Right.
right? Because you're so filled with energy, the endorphins are flowing, and so the drum has been a way to kind of get people in.
That's something you added
grab
to
their
the Brother
attention.
Carl? You added that to that? 'Cause was that a part of it already, or?
So it's two things. One, yes, I brought the drum to the institute and my experiences and the values of discipline, respect, unity, and maturity. DRUM. So that's how we kind of focus our work.
Yep.
But Brother Carl is considered one of the fathers of drumming or African percussion
Oh, is he?
in
I
the city
didn't-
of Hartford. Yeah.
Didn't know
So
that.
they did. There was a documentary done, and it talked about Brother Carl and how he introduced that, and then Brother Abu Carter.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Abu, yeah.
I know
Nara,
Brother
Ramin,
Abu.
yep. And so, the Lost Tribe is the name of the group that did the work. But yeah, Brother Carl is a drummer too.
Yeah, no, I seen
So-
him. I was at the Weaver
Yeah, yeah.
graduation. I saw you guys. I was like, oh, okay. And I seen
Yeah.
him getting it in.
Yeah, and that's how I met him. When the Artist Collective used to do the rites of passage at Weaver, he was there, and I remember there were a couple of drums still backstage, and we started drumming together, and certainly developed that bond. But yeah. So he's been a drummer, so it's a perfect match.
To me, it's just fascinating how like the core and the principles of something like Artist Collective are like transferable to like a bunch of other different organizations that can kind of, you don't have to exactly be like the Artist Collective, but a lot of principles that they're built on kind of translate to other organizations to help you like build a foundation like the drums and things like that. So
Oh yeah,
I
and
think that's dope.
and the just another connection. As a student, I was a student at the University of Hartford, and I met Jackie McLean. I was actually a student in his class, one of the only non-music majors in that particular class. And because he was connected to the Black Student Union and other organizations on campus.
Tell people, talk about Jack McLean real quick.
Yeah, so Jackie McLean is a world-renowned alto saxophone player, and he's traveled the world. Like I said, and they love him all around the world. But unfortunately, jazz is not something that enough of us have really embraced. Like we don't really understand it, or we don't really think it's cool enough. Or I don't know what it is. Maybe you have to reach a certain age. I think it was
Appreciate it.
Wynton Marsalis talked about. After a certain age, you like music without words.
Yeah.
But jazz as a whole was not really appreciated by our community, and so a lot of people come into our community, learn the styles, etc., and then they go off and become millionaires and very popular. But Jackie McLean was someone who grew up in New York City, played with Miles Davis and Charlie Parker and some of the other greats, and when he moved to Connecticut to teach at the University of Hartford, he and his wife Dolly and
Mama
Cheryl
Cheryl.
Smith
Yeah.
were some of the early. Well, the two of them, Jackie and Dolly, were the founders, but Cheryl Smith came on later, and they created the Artist Collective to spread the music, but also to teach culture. Leah Cole Thompson was the choreographer, and so they kind of put all those things together. They used martial arts, so that when the students were walking home, the violin cases, people wouldn't, think that they were victims, etc. So they kind of put all of those pieces together and created the Artist Collective.
Yeah. So what are some of the key projects that are going to be coming up, either that you've done this far into the year, or that are coming up for the second half of the year?
Yeah, so we, those components of first training, we were able to have several trainings last year provided for it because we believe everybody is a violence prevention specialist.
Right.
We had educators, we had law enforcement, we had, other organizations who are in the field come together, mental health component,
Yeah.
the training, the Black social workers
Nice.
had several conferences at the Institute. So that's something that we certainly want to continue moving forward. We had, some guest speakers come in, Dr. Christopher Emden, and others to kind of, again, make the connection to education, mental health. Brother Malik Champlain, who,
Nice.
we all know,
Yep.
has been very much a part of the institute. So we want to continue that. And then we were able to make a connection again through Brother Champlain with the Pequot community. And we feel like, you know, in terms of making that connection between violence, how they deal with, you know, certain current contemporary issues around being on a reservation, the issues that brings up manhood, etc. So we want to continue that relationship as well. And then certainly the movement in music. We did a piece with Sister Ayango.
Nice.
And, you know, she came in and did the movement. I did the drums, and we had a circle where people could participate. And then we had Brother Ron Perez do the piece around hip hop,
DJing and stuff?
DJing,
Okay.
and how music.
I'd like to see that one. Is that online?
We do have some images online.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't necessarily record the
Video?
whole thing.
That's where I come in. But it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So yeah. We
Call them next time. That sounds dope.
You need that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So we just try to, you know, make violence prevention accessible and palatable to everyone. Because you know, it's not the person that's out of the hospital when somebody gets shot, or you know, those are all valuable parts of it, or part of the ecosystem. But I think to feel like everyone can do something to create a positive environment, which ultimately leads to violence prevention.
I think it's great too. We were talking about before about collaboration, like you with Sister Anago, like everyone's together, like doing the same thing. So that's good too, right?
Do you ever get frustrated? Like, I mean, because that's like, I mean, whenever I think about, you know, violence prevention, obviously there has to be violence for there to be violence prevention, or actually it doesn't have to be. That would be the ultimate goal.
Right.
But it's like, obviously in our city, there's things that happen all the time that lead to violence. So do you ever get to the point where like it's like, damn, like you know?
Well, so on one hand, yes, I feel upset. I feel angry. I feel sad. You know, when certainly when violence occurs.
Yeah.
But I at the same time, I feel like, you know, that's even more reason to do some of the other pieces, preventive pieces. I'm still learning the nonprofit world.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
you know, I'm
me
coming,
too.
my background is education.
Yeah.
It's a different world. So there's some frustration around how things work and what you can and cannot do, and kind of always there's a political element to it.
Yeah.
Everything's political, but so some frustration, you know, arises there. But I think, you know, again, I'm still new to the game, so to speak.
Right.
And I just try to make sure that, you know, I use that frustration and channel it properly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it has to be. You spoke about the political aspect of it. So it has to be some type of, because people always go into things thinking I'm going to change the whole world and everything, but you don't understand like some things you can't like do because of like politically and things like that. So that's the frustration I think. Man, it's how do you deal with that when you like have a barrier where it's like I can do this, but certain things won't allow me to. Then you got to go. I'm assuming you have to speak to certain people to make sure certain things can happen.
Shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah, basically. So that's coming from educated. You wouldn't have to do that. You'd be like, hey, this is how it is. It's 2 + 2 is 4. You'd be like, nah, you got to go around here and divide it by 3 to get to 2, right? So how do you navigate that?
Yeah, well, so there is a lot of politics in education too, though. You know, there's the board, and then there's you know, the mayor, and you know, all those different components at work. So as a principal, you know, I really had to deal with, you know, parents and children, and there's all these different elements. So I'm familiar with that process, but again, it does take on a little. It's just a different way of sort of experiencing.
Like you said, it's new to you, so you're learning it, but you're finding your way, basically.
Yeah. And I think, you know, when it comes to politics, you know, grants and what funding is available and who gets that funding and how does that, you know, we don't want to compete with all the different organizations that are doing great work as well.
Thousands of them in Hartford, by the way.
It's just a way of kind of figuring out what's our lane.
Yeah.
And then, you know, including all these other groups, because that's, again, I get to use Brother Carl as an example and say, well, how does he respond? And he's still active too. So it's not like I'm just doing everything by myself.
Right.
He's right there with me, giving me guidance and counsel. So how do we operate like he would operate? And he can go anywhere. Like I said, across the country, somebody knows Brother Carl.
Right.
So I think, it's just trying to make sure we maintain that level of respect.
Yeah. So what's next? What is the rest of this year hold in store for the Brother Carl Institute? And if if maybe somebody's listening and they have some money they want to give you, how do they get in contact with you to be able to make that happen?
Yeah, so I would say just go to the website, bchinstitute.org. Contact me directly. My cell phone number. We have a new phone number, so that's also on the website.
Okay.
And just contact me and we can make that happen. There's also a donation button on the website,
yep,
so you can donate right there on the site. So we can do it that way.
You got anything else going on you want to talk about?
Well, I think, really trying to find ways, like I said, to work within the community and do it in a way that is inclusive, right? We're working with other groups, but at the same time, creating that different kind of element from the institute.
And how do you do that? Do you right?
Yeah.
Do you search out for? Hey, I have no idea. I understand what you're saying, but
It's the same way you do it.
no, mine is differently. Like I would, for example, if I need
So
somebody.
it's 15 videographers in Hartford, but what makes any video stand out from the rest of them?
No, but I'm saying if I wanted if I needed someone to shoot for me, someone to film, so I would send out something to I use my AI assistant, but I'll send out something for shooters that need to have this kind of camera, be able to shoot this, have this kind of equipment.
Right.
So then I'll get back a bunch of people, then I could kind of talk to them through Google Meets or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how I would kind of canvas.
That's to get you somebody to actually do the work. I'm talking about your lane. He's creating a lane of
Right.
like right now you have the Hartford Legend series.
Yep.
And so that's a lane that nobody else is doing that. So when somebody has an idea and say, you know what, man, I feel like this person's a legend, they'll come to you first and say, well, maybe we could do a documentary on that. Right. So what he's trying to do with the Brother Carl Institute is if they're literally in Hartford, there's probably 150, 200, maybe more nonprofits. And so all of us, I'm not in Hartford anymore, I just moved to East Hartford, but all of the nonprofits are trying to get the same pile of money. So it's how do you set yourself apart to be?
That's what I mean.
Okay.
I can send out a blast email to get prospective people to shoot or edit for me or go do something for me, right?
Yeah.
So your process, that's what you guys are doing. You're sending it out to nonprofits. Hey, if you want to join with us, let's sit down and talk about how we could.
No, nobody's joining with them.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just,
You're on your own, buddy.
Well,
right? That's what you do. You can work together.
There are sort of coalitions that do exist.
Right.
The North End Safety Coalition that incorporates Hartford Communities That Care, Mothers United Against Violence, Compass. So there are times where we have that work where we come together and address a specific issue, or kind of come up with ideas for future planning. We did a piece, how we can prepare for the summer. A few weeks ago.
Right.
So,
I see all that. Right. My hope was all right. I see all that. All right. So you're all getting together. We're all gonna I was part of the whole 6-week, the HCTC whole 6-week program. People, I understood what they were doing. How they were taking the responses from the community and then presenting those to the state or to whatever. But they're using that for information. All right. Boom. So now that's done.
Yes.
So what? I'm trying to think, after they do that, all right, so now you're waiting for these bills to get passed or do whatever. What happens after that? So now the next mission is to...
Yeah, so, again, I can't speak for HCTC completely, but I do know that they have a number of programs. So they're doing work with
kids and
youth development. They're doing a piece around with the police and trying to figure out a new way of policing and incorporating social workers, et cetera. So there's a lot of things that are happening while violence is not, right? So we're not chasing ambulances and we're not waiting so much for things to happen in that sense.
Right.
But there are things that are going on sort of behind the scenes and sometimes maybe not enough publicity.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I think
like
people
most of the time, like I'm like a visual person, obviously. So it's like if I don't see it, I know what's going on, and I know about the 6-week program, and I know it all because I filmed the whole 6-week program. But after I'm done, I'm like, so what happens next? I know more stuff is happening because I know Ed is over there. I know they're doing great things over there, but you don't see anything. You just see some pictures and stuff like that. It's not. It's like to me, it's like every once in a while they're like, hey, we're gonna do some video for this. Or even it don't even got to be me.
right.
It could be whomever, but they're doing video for just this particular point. When I think this is the type of thing that needs to be shown every time something is happening
Right.
in some aspect or some way, so you know that the work is being done. Because otherwise, it's like it seems like it just happens every once in a while unless you're in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree. I think all of us should be on these types of platforms more often, should be getting more news coverage, et cetera. But, then even news coverage, you can send a press release, tell them, this was happening on such X date. They decide whether or not they're going to show
Yeah,
up.
they give you When I was there, they were there for the whole time, and you got 15 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
She was there for the whole 2 hours. I'm like 15, so I understand that part. But in this day and age, we could control that narrative, like all that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that as much as people are trying to stop the nonviolence things and all that, it also has to be a conscious effort to like show what's happening, like show like these people are already doing things,
Right.
because people like I know, he knows, and people around us know, but the people that I think that need to know, they'll see a TikTok video, they'll see that before they see anything in the community that's good. They'll see it once in a while. So I just think that has to also be looked at as we all collaborate and we doing things. They need to collaborate with people like myself or young kids, because HCTC have a bunch of young kids that I used to edit. I was like, hey, and I told them what to do, and they have tons of footage now from the whole 6 weeks. But like I'll tell them that should be repurposed. You still should be coming out now. Someone else should be doing something with that footage now to let you know, like, hey, you didn't. That 6 weeks, all this happened. But what I put on the camera is so much more that happened than what I put down.
Yeah.
'Cause there's so much more footage. But like I said, once I'm done or whoever they hired is done, it just ends. And I know that the work don't end, right? But I just think that needs to continue to show people like we're doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, violence prevention is not sexy enough. Right? People aren't like, yo, how you doing this? And also, because someone gets shot 3 weeks from now, how come you didn't prevent that? Like, why aren't you doing that?
That's why I think the videos is important,
Right.
because it's like we've been preventing, and then such and such gets shot, but you saw like the months of doing these things.
Right.
Like even after the 6 week program, I don't think we had no violence. So people like, oh, it worked. Yes and no, but they do that all the time. You just happened to show it that time and you saw it. But so they're always trying to prevent violence, even though violence is happening. So people don't have it in mind like they're not doing anything. They are.
Right.
Right. You're just not. People don't care unless it happens to them most of the time.
Well, maybe you need to do a training for nonprofits on how to get their message out, because and the importance of getting their message out, because I think what happens is we got to think about nonprofit stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to think about the things that keep the doors open, keep the lights on, figure out what our staff are doing. And so thinking about content is not necessarily the first thing in our minds, I don't think. And so we're, like you said, they're doing the work, but it's just most of the time capturing themselves out at night or whatever, doing the programs. It may not be the first thing that comes to mind,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree. But I just think that's and anything, anything, you have to show the work. Like in anything, like
I agree.
once you show the work, people you even go back to math. When we used to do math, you have to show your work on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
You couldn't just give them the answers. They wanted to show the work. When you show the work, you'd be like, oh, they understand.
Right.
So same thing with video. If you show the work, people will understand what it is you're trying to do, because you're showing the work. You just
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
All right, so we're gonna take a little turn.
Okay.
We talked about the Brother Carl Institute, Zoe, you got anything you want to talk about? It's been a month since you've been on. You were kind of just doing a little side promotion just then for video services.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, yeah. But is there something like specific that you want to talk? I mean, you just had the premiere.
we had a premiere. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Talk about that. Talk about the premiere. It was, I saw the movie twice in 2 days. So
I
tell
needed
me.
you to watch it, so I had to. Well, just this past Saturday, the 20th, we had the premiere of 11 on the Field,
Yeah.
a whole city in their back. It's 1994 CIAC Double L Championship for the Hartford Public High School Owls.
Yes.
They were the first team to
Football.
break through. Football, yep. The
Yep.
first team to break through and win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had the premiere. It was at the Lyceum on the 20th. It was a good turnout, family and friends. I kind of do it for the family and friends. That's
Yeah.
all I really wanted to be there, so they can kind of relive it, show their parents and their not their parents but their kids and.
What I'll say is this. So I watched it right before. It was so much better with the audience.
Yeah, it is.
Like when you had the people
They can
in the room,
laugh and
like
stuff,
I actually wanted to be one of the guys on the team. Like there were certain points where they were laughing, and I was like, yeah. You know, I could
Camaraderie
feel
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watching it alone was okay. I mean, it was good, but I mean, watching it with the people, oh man, that was so much better.
Right, and I like, I get a like a I like it's like a euphoric. I like the feeling of when people see themselves and because some
Yeah.
people are forgotten about, right? And I don't like when people are forgotten about. When you see it, then they can kind of share with their family and friends, and then it'll be on Tubi, it'll be on Amazon Prime, so then they can watch it, for as long as they want to and show anybody they want to about their past.
And your cousin was one of the players.
Right, yeah. Beanie was one. Derek Reynolds, yeah, and I thought he should have been. There was a lot of Division I guys on that team, but
Right.
life happens.
Life
to a lot of
happens.
people.
Yeah.
And things don't turn out the way it's supposed to. But kids don't know. Like these guys were. The word they used, he was him. Like a lot of them kids were the
Right.
the guys.
Right.
And what they did was amazing at that time, but people kind of forget about it, and no one's going to come down to Hartford and show these stories. So I
Yeah.
do the Hartford Legend series, and I show the stories from where I come.
I actually think that it's the documentaries that you've been doing. I really think. I mean, right now, I don't know if people are gonna appreciate this as much because, like, when you're in it, sometimes people don't really appreciate it as much. But I think 10, 20 years from now, I think people are really gonna be like, he was on to something. And I mean, imagine how many more docs you'll do in the next 20 years.
Right.
I think it's really important because it's like nobody tells our stories.
Nobody.
And so you're choosing to tell stories, and like these are stories from 30 years ago that I think many people have forgotten about.
Yeah.
Some of them were even longer when you talk about the boxing docs as well. So I just want to encourage you to keep going. I mean, I know that I don't know if it's like a big money grab, you know,
It's not at all.
but I do think
honestly, I tell people all the time, like I just do it so I can come off even.
yeah.
Like I probably make $200, like all the money I put into it.
Right.
And then
Traveling, go to
then
different
I'm
places.
probably losing because all the editing time, like I don't, you know.
It doesn't
whatever.
matter.
Right.
You're gonna be a legend one day though.
Doesn't matter, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the people's expressions when they see it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy like to know about this. What I just think Hartford's a great place. I really think it's a great place with.
Right.
You know, they say 18 and a half square is a great place, small place with a lot of great things that's happened in this space. So that I just do documentaries from Hartford. And there's so many, which is it's 18 miles, but I have so many. I have
You have
already a
other
bunch of-
topics
yes,
that you can do.
So many
So
more.
coming up next, we have the 25 Years Loud.
We have Hot 937, Doc.
Yep.
25 years. That'll be August 29th.
Okay.
And then I have the Duke of Bellevue comes in October.
Back to boxing.
That's Johnny.
You have a special love for boxing, obviously. You did because this is like a fourth. That would be a
be
fourth.
the third.
The third doc on boxing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But boxing was very
Right,
in
so-
Hartford.
so many
it
people.
was what? It was in, people are still like, hey, you didn't do it on this guy. Another boxing guy. I'm like, all right, hold
Yeah.
up, let me go to someone else.
Right.
Because there's a lot. Boxing was Bellevue Square. That was everyone was there. That was how they stay out of trouble.
Right.
There's a lot of stories in there. We had Marlon Starling. He was a
Yeah.
welterweight champion. We had like 20
Schoolboy.
school Troy Worthy.
Wortham.
We had 20
I know Troy Wortham. Yeah.
DCF.
He used
right?
to work with no, I went to Troy I went to China with Troy.
It was some great boxers here, man.
with
Like
the
Donnie
Benjamin Hayes.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Kelvin D. Anderson. When I ended up dying in so many, like Clay Bay. It was very big here. To be only 18 miles, to have all these people. You have
Right.
Willie Pep from this area.
Yep.
Like so many people are from this area. So boxing is very big.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so many. So people know that this is kind of a hotbed for boxing back in the day.
Nice.
So, and I think too, when you said that you're sort of breaking even,
Yeah.
but the impact that it's going to have, to your point,
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
right? And
That's how I look at it.
And
It's
it
well worth it.
builds the character and the importance of Hartford.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
A lot of people
really
don't know, what
at all about us. At all about what's happening here. Like that's why I was saying like Artist Collective is a big story.
Yeah, you're gonna do that one?
Like, but I wouldn't. Yeah, they help me, right? Because like most of the things I do is because I want to do them.
Right.
So then I have like total control of them.
Right. You're not
All-
necessarily having people say, do this, doc, we're gonna give you some money.
Money, right.
Because once they give you money,
Then they
now you have
kinda
to do it the
control.
way they
Right,
want
right.
to do it. You just want to do it the way you're gonna do it.
And the way, it's not the way really how I'm doing is how the people. They
people.
kind of ask them questions and they kind of dictate how it goes.
Right.
If you don't talk about somebody, I didn't know he was around. No one, the 35 people I interviewed didn't even say his name.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells me, what's
If they're
going
popular or not.
or whatever happened.
Yeah.
So it's like the people tell it. And if I would do it with other ones, that's the ultimate goal. Like, hey, now, Artist Collective want to do an art. Let's sit down and talk. I've got 12 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you want to do this? We could do this very easy to tell your story of Hartford. But I think I have to do what I'm doing now
Yeah.
just to show like there is like most people don't know that there's a like this is a lane. They don't
It's
even
your
know- they-
lane.
They don't know it's a lane.
No, you created it.
Right.
You
so
created
like,
the
and I'm
lane.
telling you, it's so much more.
And it's funny because I've obviously I've been watching how you created the lane. I don't know if you were planning on creating
No,
a lane.
no,
You were
not at
just
all.
doing some
Yep.
docs about
The docs,
things.
I was like, hey, there's two of them from Hartford.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think it's dope. And anybody that's listening, and if you have a unique tale from Hartford that you might want to pitch to Zoe, he'll listen to your pitch, but ultimately he has final say on what's going to happen with the docs. Right? That's what you want. You want to keep creative control.
Yeah, I just wanted the doc that I don't want. It's gonna unfold how it unfolds.
Yes.
That's basically. I'm not really controlling anything. It's just like I don't want you to be like,
Hey, take this out.
don't put that guy in. I don't like him. Well, he's part of it.
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Right, right.
Yeah. So just to piggyback on that, we're in the process of writing the Brother Carl story.
Nice.
That's an incredible story. too.
Yes.
That book.
His mural's right outside over here.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
right outside. He got a little mural. Well,
Yeah.
that's another story. It's just so many,
Mm-hmm.
and like I've done like 5, and you can think. In
I
your
vote for
head,
the Brother Carl story.
No,
Let's get it out. Let's get it. Once they finish the book, let's just go straight to it.
there's so many.
I'm the executive producer of all the docs, by the way, just in case nobody knows. I didn't put any money in. I just basically
He
watched
watches
the docs
them.
ahead of time.
So if he watches them and something wrong with him, like
Yeah, I
well,
tell him.
he said it was okay. The executive.
Don't blame me though. I didn't have anything to do with it other than watching it.
Some of you had some voiceovers.
I did some voiceovers.
The
I
Undisputed
thought
Champs.
the R voice was really good
He's
in
good,
this
he's
one.
good,
His
he's good,
voice
yeah.
is it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a nice voice,
And he's from Hartford, right? But he's from
Yeah,
Hartford.
Hartford,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got the docs coming out. You're gonna keep pushing. Have you already thought about 2027?
Oh yeah, I already got docs already.
What, give us one.
Doing the doc on doc.
Doc Hurley.
Doc Curley.
Okay.
So we doc on doc, and I got the Capital Prep.
Okay.
I got all the footage
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
15 years.
Right.
So then I have some Andre in there and Lil and all the things that happen over there.
Yeah.
And then I'm already started one for I'm taping now the one in New York. It's called Voices of the Game with all the street ball announcers.
Okay. Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah,
one.
so I'm doing that one. That'll come out next year. That's from New York. That's not a Hartford one, but it's from New York.
So what I want to do, go ahead. You had a question?
No, I was going to say, too, all of the current challenges that Dr. Perry is facing now, but just, having a way to kind of bring all those stories
Yeah.
together would be.
And about time I start digging into it, a lot of other stuff is going to have happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, because he's expanded. He had one in Harlem. Right.
Yeah.
He had then it's good. It's a good. And I have all the. Because I was I was an assistant basketball coach for like 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And I taped. And my cousin was the head coach. He's still there now.
Nice.
Levi, shout out to Levi. He, met the court. The court is named after him. Levi Gillespie on the court.
Oh, nice.
But so I have 15 years, and since I did that, because I taped everything, he still tapes too. So he still has.
Footage.
We used to have the kids in the school like kind of like a work study. Hey, I'm gonna show you how to hold a camera. You tape. I used to have kids announce in the game just to give them something to do. But then we have all this footage of Andre, who's in the NBA now, when he was falling all over the place. We have Khalil, who plays overseas for like 10 years, falling all over the place. But we have so many kids that are going on. Winston was here the other day. He played on the team. I got
That's
him.
right. I remember that. Yeah.
He's a principal now.
teacher. Yeah.
Right. So we have all these kids that have turned out to be through Capital Prep. turn out to go to the NBA, which we never thought,
Right.
or play professionally overseas, or be coaches, or be educators, and be principals, and it's insane. So like, it all worked out. Like but people don't think it worked out.
Right.
Oh, it worked
You
out.
think about capital prep, like, oh, all right. No, I'm gonna show you that it did what it was supposed to do. Everything goes, has its ups and downs, but for the most part, it did what it was supposed to do.
So what I was gonna sidebar to is that you just talked about 2027. So I just wanted to talk quickly, briefly about vision. I know this is not the topic for tonight, but when somebody is already halfway through 2027 with their vision, that's a big deal. And so like, how have you developed that skill right there, where you are kind of like thinking about, you're in the middle of next year already in your plans for the future, and I mean, knowing you, I already know all of those things are gonna happen. So just give us a little bit about that. I think this will be a good clip for the episode.
Well, always need something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That's me personally. I like the Saturday the doc was over. On Sunday I was doing stuff for the new doc.
Yeah.
I just need something to look forward to. And then in fact, and I also found out through doing docs, I meet so many people.
You do.
Meet so many people. So it's like I'm always looking to call this person up. Hey, can we get on the Zoom? Can I meet you? And then you just hear about them, and then it's their story. They feel so appreciative that you want to talk about them. You want to do these things for them, and so then I get excited to do it.
Right.
And then I look forward to like the 29th when everybody's going to be there.
It's gonna be nice.
Right. So I look forward to that. I need things to look forward to. Otherwise, I can't. I'm not the type of person that just go to work, come home, wake up.
Right.
Friday we go out and hang out.
Yeah.
Monday's gonna work. Nah, I need something that involves everybody and everyone's excited about it. Gets me excited. I can't wait to get here.
Right.
Still to edit. I still wanted to edit while we was doing the show. I was like, oh, we gotta do the podcast. That's when I edit.
Yeah.
But then I get in the pod. I like it.
It's good. Yeah.
Right, so it's just
good to be
something-
back. It's good to be back.
It's just something I know I love to do something, so I just make sure I'm always doing that.
Right.
I'm always creating. Just love to,
So it sounds like if you find something you love to do, it's easy to kind of put it in your future all the time.
It's easy. For example, like you do what you do. I guarantee you're thinking about how ways to make it better, yo. Like when you be drumming, I know you be like, yo, if I had these kids, we could just do this thing. So I think about that with everything, and I always think that you do that too, though.
Yeah. No, I know.
No,
I'm
right,
just trying to make.
right.
I'm just having
I
a little
think
podcast talk
people,
with you.
people do the same things, but
Yeah.
in their own little
In their world.
What?
Yeah.
And that's what makes them special.
Right.
That's what makes him great at his job. Like, why are you good? Because that's all he thinks about.
Right.
What do
Right.
you mean? Like, I like to do it. It's not something that's like a part-time thing.
Yeah.
So I think in any field, whatever you do, if you're passionate about it, you love to do it, whether someone pay you or not, it's gonna be fire.
Well, that's the cheat code. Well, lately, I've been doing a lot of thinking about what it means to be rich, and what I came my conclusion today was exactly what you said. I don't know if rich is about money. I'm starting to believe that money is fake. It's like a tool to make you chasing something, but it's like. I have the most fun when I don't do anything for money. When I used to be on my ice cream truck all the time, when I started getting money for that, that's when I got off the truck.
Right.
When I was just doing it because I just want to do it because I like the children, I like hearing their dreams. I used to have the best time on the ice cream truck. I'd be just like this, sweating and everything, but it'd be like, yo, this is important for these kids. So I just think that money, I think having a dream, having something that you love, something that you would do for free is really what life is all about. I'm just really coming to that conclusion.
And we're talking. Me and my boys are talking. We're at Rob had a cookout for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And shout out to Lolly. Lolly, she's the warden.
Yeah, I know Lolly.
Right, so Lolly
yeah.
was there. That's Jenny's
Yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
So we're all there. Will had his daughter. My boy Ray was there with his son. Rob was there with his kids. So she was like asking questions, like social work questions. Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, so what is your dad? What's the most important lessons your dad ever taught you? They asking them questions.
Right.
So she had asked us, like, what's the most important thing as a father? Like, what do you think about father? What's the most important thing? And like, none of us were like listening to each other, but we kind of all had the same answer.
Right.
I was like, I never realized. No one ever told me that the best thing that I could ever do is be a father. Like that's like the dopest thing because you kind of could see him.
Yeah.
And then when you get old, he'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like like
Yeah.
a reflection of you.
Right.
But no one ever tells you that. They tell you it's money, it's girls,
Yeah.
it's houses, it's cars.
yeah.
But they never say when you become a father.
Yep.
If you pour into your kid, it's gonna be the best.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be able to the joy you'll have from doing all these things. But no one ever tells you that.
Right.
They tell you the other things. So that's what I.
Did I mention? So we're going to transition another time. So Father's Day was just the other day.
Yeah.
Did you get any gifts?
Wife took me out to eat.
Okay.
That's not like Mother's Day at all.
Leonard, what about you? You get anything?
So
Not that it's about gifts, but
It's not like Mother's Day. Let's
I want
put
to
that
talk
out
about my gifts, but I'm going to let you tell yours first.
right. So my gift was my daughter coming in from L.A.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
That's a nice gift.
yes.
But that was the gift.
Surprise.
Yes.
Surprise. Yeah, okay.
But in terms of giving a gift, like sometimes we give,
Yeah.
mothers, no.
No, exactly.
Y'all didn't get so. All right. So my daughter came home. My oldest daughter came, brought my grandson. So he's man, he's staying. She left.
That's the
I took
gift.
her to-
That's the gift.
No, she actually got me a big. I like doing yard work. So she bought me this huge hat with fans in it.
Oh.
Now the funny thing about that gift is my son bought me that gift last year, so I have two of them now.
Yo, they didn't talk to each other.
No, they're just buying me the same gifts. But my wife, as I was saying before we went on, she has bought me tons of New York Knicks gear, and I know you guys
How
know
did she
why.
find it?
Yo, she's online. Some of it is a little bootleg. She's not watching,
Hey,
so
she got it.
it's not necessarily the brand that I would buy. But you know what? I'm gonna
Thought it
wear it.
counts.
I'm
I
gonna
thought
wear
it
it all of it. It's Japanese brands. I don't even know. I never heard these brands.
Jeremy
But-
Lin is Jeremy. No, it's,
But I'm appreciative because, like you said, it's hard to find gear right now.
Yeah.
Because we just won the championship, and so I'm very,
Hey.
yeah, that's right. Give it up for the Knicks, the greatest team of all time. But yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things I was thinking about, as it pertains to like a topic, you were just talking about how great fatherhood is. Father's Day was just on Sunday, and Juneteenth was on Friday. And I don't know why I never put that together that, you got Juneteenth on Friday and then you got Father's Day on Sunday.
yeah.
Okay, this is my thought, the connection. I think that the reason why I know we have Juneteenth because this is the date that it happened, but it being so close to Father's Day, I think it's a greater emphasis for black fathers to be involved in their children's lives. I was in the prison today. I go up to Cheshire on Tuesday and do my manhood tree group. And we did the fatherhood session today. And out of the 4 men that were in the group, all four, their father was not involved in their life in a significant way. And they're in Cheshire. And they would say that maybe if they did have a more involved, actually the number one thing that they said that they needed or wanted from their father is presence.
Yeah. Well, you heard that from that 4, but you know that's about 80% of the population.
Of course.
In there
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. And so the thing is that I think that Juneteenth and Father's Day are a call to action for black fathers, for us to get involved in our children's life in whatever way we could possibly do it. And I think one of the things I know is that when we have involved fathers, you have less likelihood of children going to jail.
Yeah.
Actually, if you think of any statistic, health statistics, education, anything you can think of, it improves because you have involved and engaged fathers.
Yeah.
So when you say it's the best thing you can do, it's like you realize how great it is. It is literally life-changing to have a father involved in your life
Kid, yes.
Yeah.
for a kid.
Yeah, it's funny. The same questions that were asked, you mentioned at the cookout. My daughter, so I plan to ask questions. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask them about me as a father, and also I had all these questions in my head. And on the way, we also went out to eat. And on the way to the restaurant, my daughter starts with the questions, and she's like, did you always want to be a dad? What did you think about, what were some of the things that you wanted to teach us? Like all these different questions, and I was like, wow, I'm glad that she was asking those questions. And then part of my answers was that I wanted to teach you to ask questions.
Right.
So, all the things that she was talking about, it was like, yeah, I feel like I did my job.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and she definitely is a tremendous young lady. So both of them are, but the one that was in L.A.
Yeah.
And that's more rewarding than any. That's worth more than any money someone can give you.
Yeah,
It
You
is.
should be proud of your child. Your child is, I mean,
But for your child to be proud of you too. You
Yes.
know, like that's the
All
other
these people-
piece.
Yes, you hear it like from afar.
Yeah, I find that my kids are at the age now where some of the things that they do influence me. So whereas before my things that I'm doing influence them, now they influence like my son. He's reading heavily right now, and you can tell when he starts talking, you can hear it. Like he's reading like Malcolm X. He got this book by France. I can't even remember the guy's last name, but
Fanon,
it was,
France Fanon.
I think that's the name of the book. I mean, the author. And so he's reading like high level stuff to get the edification in his mind about certain things about being a young black man. My daughter, she said she's reading now. She said some of her friends can't read. Like literally, like they'll read something, but they won't really comprehend it.
Right. That's what it is.
Comprehension, right? And so she said, you know what? I'm gonna increase my reading. And so because my two youngest kids decided to increase their reading, I said, you know what? I'm gonna increase my reading too. I'm gonna start reading more because, sometimes you get to a point where you think you know everything,
Yep.
but there's new information coming out every day.
Every
And I want to stay on point with these guys when they come back from college and they having these conversations. I want to be over there like, all I know about is the manhood tree or whatever, whatever I'm doing, And so I just find it dope that as they are kind of like matriculating through school and becoming the individuals that they are becoming, it's like nice to see them kind of like picking up stuff on their own. Like I'm not telling them like, yo, you need to read a book. Now it's like they're saying like, based on what I'm seeing in my friends and in society, I need to read a book. Right.
But too, we laid the foundation.
Yes.
Like
yes.
we put stuff.
Yeah, there's books in your
we
house. You got a lot of books.
Tons of
They
books.
know you're educated and
Yeah.
your wife. So all of those things that they saw, that also, sort of comes back.
Yeah.
around.
Later on.
Yeah.
It's almost like I always tell people, it's like, I don't know if your kids, but my son, we talking about this. I could tell him something.
Mm-hmm.
He tell him the same thing. He be like, yo, I just got this new thing Abdul told me. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, man. So it's almost like you got to make it their idea. Even though it's your idea, you got to form it in a way where it's like they came up with the idea to do all this reading.
That's true.
Yeah, I think part of the conversation with my daughters on Sunday was, you also have to make it natural. Like, this is just what we do. This is culture, going to events of festivals or Kwanzaa or family reunions, different pieces get together.
Right.
That's just natural. So then when they grow up, it's like, oh, y'all don't do that.
Yeah.
You
Other people, right?
You're having
yeah.
X, Y, and Z. Y'all don't travel. You don't. So I think that there is I'm not gonna say a formula.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, say a formula. I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm gonna say there's a formula
Yeah.
that if you plan it and you think about it, you talk with your wife, and you kind of say, okay, these are the things that I want my daughters or my children to be involved in. Then it's not hard or okay, it's difficult to raise children, but I'm just saying, it's not unlikely to see the results.
Yeah.
Because you put it in there, and also, if you are living a certain way, they're gonna see that, and they're gonna
Rubs off,
they're gonna
bad,
pick it up.
good or
So
bad.
even if you
Yeah.
don't teach them anything, just being a good person,
They
some
see
of
that.
rubs
They're gonna get a little bit of it.
right. But then you add the planning, the scientific element of it, the things you can do even before they are born.
Right.
The ways in which you talk to your
Yes.
wife.
Yeah, that's in your monologue.
Yes, right, it's my
I was about to
monologue.
say that.
Yeah,
I ain't want to.
yeah.
But talking to your child before they even come into this physical
Right.
space,
Right.
all of those things impact how they develop.
And so you know what the benefit that I have is that I was able to do monologues with like you and other people of your ilk, and then I do monologue like I'm doing it at Cheshire.
Right.
I have a group. We're going to be doing a show in 2 weeks, and when you listen, not to say that everybody's monologue is negative, but there's a lot of negative monologues, and it's based off of lack of father involvement.
Relationship.
It's based.
That's the
father's
beauty-
not
that's the
being
beauty.
around.
That's the beauty of the monologue. It tells
tells
you
you.
your relationship with your father.
Man.
And some people, Some people don't have a good
They
one.
don't have a good one.
And when you ask them to talk about it, you're shocked. And then you kind of understand.
But you can see it's like we can talk statistics, or I could just let you write a monologue. The monologue tells you the statistic right there in your face. If we're in Cheshire and then you hear the story and you're like, oh, okay, well that makes sense because the lack of that role model. And this is the thing. It doesn't even have to just be a father. It could be a father figure. There's a lot of stepfathers out there that really could change the game for kids. There's a lot of uncles out there, a lot of people in the community. Maybe you don't even have no kids, but you got a little time. You can make a difference in these children's lives. And I think that, and we going back to the violence prevention, I think fathers is one of the top violence preventers you could have. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think too, the question is, well, why don't they?
Yeah.
Like, what's stopping them? And a lot of times, it's, whatever it is that they feel that they haven't done, or the guilt, or the, I don't feel I'm qualified, or there's different things that prevent, I think, men and fathers from engaging, where it's like, I was watching something online just this afternoon where the father apologized for, not, they remember struggling and counting quarters and those kind of stuff. But the daughter was like, "Dad, you was there."
Right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it wasn't about the money.
Right.
And I think that for a lot of us, we base our value on what we can do and provide. And if we can't do it, if we don't have it financially or whatever it is,
Right.
then it's like, well, I'd rather not
Do it at all.
be in the space. And
Man.
that's that has a lot of consequences.
We got to put out a message that we need them there.
Period.
Forget about being able to provide. There's most of the time there's a lot of free stuff in the community.
Nowadays.
My grandson's up here, right? When I go home tonight, I might stop by the dollar store and get him a little toy. It's gonna cost me $1.25. The dollar store went up. They're not $1 no more.
Right.
It's $1.25. But he's gonna be happy with the little toy I get him. And so it's not about always flashy and big. It's about, hey, my granddad gave me this little toy. You know what I'm saying? He played
He
with
always
me.
bring me
help-
stuff. Like when granddad used to, my great granddad used to always bring me root beer.
Okay.
So I just remember I used to like root
Yeah,
beer. He used to
yeah.
bring me root beer, the candies or the soda.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
At that age, I didn't know if it cost a lot or cost a little. I just know when I saw him, I was gonna get some
Here
root beer or
comes
some
some root
root
beer.
candy.
Right.
But that's what I remember from him
Yeah.
when I was 12.
Yeah. Right.
But most people think, you need to, he need this designer, this or whatever. His most of the stuff he's gonna outgrow it in a couple of
Yeah,
months,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
no one cares. It's like the society, our society around us tells people what's, your kids need this, they need that. When really they just need you,
Yeah. They
Right.
just need you.
right? And most kids, myself included, me and my mom grew up together.
Yeah.
Right? When she had me, she was 19. She had my sister already.
Yeah.
So we kind of growing up together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you don't know,
right.
you don't know, and neither do I.
Right.
But you just being there was just everything, and I didn't know. A lot of people tell you stories of I didn't know we were poor.
Right.
I didn't know we didn't have until I went somewhere else and they said I
Yeah.
should have this.
Right.
And I didn't. I was like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
So now we don't have a car.
Right.
We didn't need a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think you raise another point is that, the relationship with the mother of our children,
Very important.
very important. And sometimes if that relationship is tense or it is not functioning in a way, then that also contributes to sometimes men feeling like, well, I would, but,
Right.
and there's ways to overcome that. If you
course.
really want to, you still can. But I think those are some areas that still have to be addressed. And then the other thing is, Oprah, no, it was actually Maya Angelou said that people don't remember what you say.
That's right.
how you
They
treat
remember how you
How you
they
feel.
Make you feel.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
dope.
and
Yeah.
I think that's the part that we have to understand how we impact the feeling.
I would say to any father listening that have a slice of humble pie. If it requires me not to be my full Abdul self, but I'm gonna see my kid, I'm gonna cut myself down. I'm gonna be less of me so that I can get through the time I got to deal with their mom. So if my daughter's mom, I had to kind of be like, all right, I'm not gonna go here talking junk today.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure that I walk out the door with my daughter.
Right.
And so if that means I got to be less of myself to make that happen, I'll do it because being with my daughter is more important to me. Now, how old is your oldest?
26.
26, and you're in 20. That's right. My oldest is 32. She's about to be 33, and I'm finding that one of the things we talk about in the past is the different types of fathers. And so, according to the manhood tree, you both have children in young adulthood because they're in their 20s, 20 to 30s are young adulthood. My daughter has transitioned into adulthood in numbers. And it's funny, though, I don't want to say in numbers. Actually, I can see she's 32. So in the last year, my daughter has made a come up. Like she came up here, she paid for her own flight.
Oh.
Yeah, money's rolling a little different. And so it's like, it's an interesting thing that now I'm asking myself as a father, whereas before one of my roles was, okay, we pay for the plane ticket, we pay for this, and she might call and ask for a little money. But now that she can be able to take care of those things on her own, well, what is the role of the father for an adult woman who's making her way in the world? And so I now have to reevaluate my fatherhood. Because if I keep trying to do the previous fatherhood, that may not be what she needs to be able to kind of keep moving forward.
So it's two things, and I'm so glad that we're having this conversation after Father's Day because there's so many things that happened on Father's Day that I was like, yes, I got to share this with the brothers. But it was two things. One was that my daughter was talking about how she's living in L.A. And she's trying to live her best life, and she's happy.
Right.
And she said, I'm out there, like, and she did that shoulder roll, and I'm like,
she on there shaking and moving.
yeah. And I was like, that's what a father wants to see. Like
Right.
that's a sign that you've given her some foundation where she feels confident and she can do some different things.
Right.
And then the other thing that she said was that I always validated her feelings. And so, even at 26, so I would say that at this stage, I think those are the types of things that we're going to have to sort of pay attention to versus, do this, do that, or setting a direction. Now they have the direction. It's like sort of just being there and listening and giving them that guidance and the wisdom.
Yeah.
Because they're in a different stage.
Yeah. It's
in their path.
dope. Yeah, I like it.
Path, yeah.
Because my middle daughter, me and my wife think she'll probably be around a little while, after, but you never know. She has good aspirations in her mind. So I think that it's cool to be in one phase with one child and another phase with another child. And then with my son, he's in a whole nother phase, into himself. But I can see the vision of where they're going. They're moving in the right direction. I think also all of them going to historically black colleges is important for them in this phase of their life just because really kind of like solidifying that black identity, really being like, I'm a part of something. This is our culture. These are the things that we do. My middle daughter, she's in the band, so she's out there.
I think seeing all those black people, man.
Black people.
That right there, just
Oh, it does
you
something.
wake up in
to
the
you.
morning, everyone's 80% of the people you see are black, and they're educated and they're smart. And you see the smartest kid in the room is usually when you're at a school is some white dude. You see smart, you're like, why is he smart?
Yeah.
But now when you're at the nerds are black, the guys that are messing up are black.
Everybody.
Everyone is. So it's like,
Yeah.
you're everything really.
Top to
right?
bottom.
You don't have to just be a jock. You could be the smartest dude in the school, and he's looked at as being cool,
Right.
Because he's on a he's doing like you said, he's Mr. Sophomore, right?
Yeah, my son, yeah.
He's running for things like
Yeah.
people normally would never do that.
He's stepping in. And look, he often hears about how I didn't even know they had a Mr. Sophomore when I was in school because I was on some other stuff.
Right.
He's a lot more locked in. A lot more focused. And it's like, I love it because he's gonna get a 5-year degree. He'll have his master's in social work when he's done. However, he's already started talking about when I finish, I want to go get my law degree because he wants to be in civil rights. He wants to be a civil rights lawyer. He wants to help the people. So it's like I help people like
He
therapeutically.
he's taking it to the next
Nah,
level.
he's ready to like bang some heads, man. He wants to
Fire.
make sure that
He could do that. Yeah, and
and
he
if
has
you
that
hear
mind
him
of
talk,
now-
I don't know if Brandon's gonna put out his podcast. Like me and my son went on Brandon Frame's podcast for the Black Man Can.
Yep.
Some of the stuff he was saying was like real, like he might cut it out because he was like on some old Black Power, like super Black Power stuff.
You know, so what's my man name? 19 years old.
Adi Muhammad, Amir
No,
Dayan.
Who's the other 19-year-old? 20-year-old. Fred Hampton. He's Fred Hampton.
Oh,
he's
he's
like,
young.
he like, you know,
Yo.
tell him to read about Fred Hampton.
Yo,
he
don't
kinda
worry.
got that Fred Hampton.
He's got the Fred Hampton in him right now, man.
Man.
And so it's
Well, I'm saying, speaking of Hampton, my daughter went to Hampton.
okay, nice.
Yeah?
yeah.
The same, so that,
You get something from a historically
No,
black
you do.
college.
I used to
man.
always. That's one of my. I wanted to go. The reason why I couldn't go in high school, I went to Farmington High when we had the black college tour. We used to go every
Yeah.
year. I couldn't go because we had practice. My coach wouldn't let me go.
Oh man,
What?
if you would have got down there, it's a game
Yeah, I would've
changer.
been
It's a
different.
game
I
changer.
would have definitely stayed.
Especially like when we moved to Connecticut, and I'm from New York. I moved to West Hartford. So for my last 3 years of high school, I'm in a predominantly white people all the time, and in some ways, like I'm feeling down because White Plains was more diverse in that sense, and so it's like. But when you get to Tougaloo, and Tougaloo's a small black college, but it's like I'm in Mississippi, and then I'm all around. Everybody, the professor, the president, down to the janitor. Everybody's black. I don't think there were any white. Maybe there was a few white professors, Asian professors in
But it's just reversed.
It's
Reverse like the.
it's
I went
how I
to
live
I went
my-
to Eastern. Most of white, so
Yeah.
the black people. It's like reversing them.
my whole world.
HBCU.
But that's how I live our world now. Like my people is
Yes.
98%.
What do you think? What do you think the most people that graduate from HBCU that start businesses? I guarantee their businesses are 80-90% black.
Of course.
It just right. Like people like myself. Like I mean, like they go to a predominantly white school. It's
Yeah.
not like that.
No.
Because my ideology of like how life is, I'm thinking it's like high school and it's like college.
Yeah.
Like white people are going to be always going to be in the top, and the black guys going to be working for subservient, always working. When you go to a HBCU, it's flipped.
Everybody's up.
It's flipped. So I think that does something to the kids.
Especially when you get to the alumni, and then now you're able to say like, oh, after you finish here, you're this guy. Okay, I could be that guy too. You know what I'm saying? So,
and shout out to my wife Stacy.
yeah,
She also went to Hampton. So it's
keeping it going, keeping it in the family, man.
how it happens.
So I want to give a special shout out to all the fathers out there, because I believe Father's Day is every day. Every day is Father's Day. I don't think it's just one day a year. We need you to be involved in your children's lives. We need you. Your presence is better than the presents. Presents are better than presents. And so show up for your kids. Be there for your kids. One of the greatest things that I remember that my father used to do. My father had there was 9-10 kids in my family. My father never missed a game for everybody. So if there was a game, he was gonna be up in the stands with a video camera. He never edited any of the videos. They used to be mad, just VHS tapes,
all
just
over.
all over the place. But it's something to be able to look up and see your dad there, to know he's there. You know what I'm saying? It makes you feel extra. It gives you a burst of energy. I had one of my worst basketball games ever, and the only part of the memory that was good is that my dad was there.
He saw you. He was like,
Yo.
son.
He told me,
We're not doing that.
He was like, good game. I was like, were you watching this game? Were you watching? This is
like, I don't got a ball player.
It's intramurals in college, but he
Oh,
was.
you told me about the game.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
smoked that
Oh,
game,
man,
didn't you?
I got
Some
murdered.
dude was on fire.
I got murdered in that game, but he was there, and
That's right.
Hey, and so that's the highlight of the memory for me. So, listen, the Manhunt Tree podcast, we're back. You got a guest for next week, Zoe?
I do.
I got a guest for next week as well. So we're back.
Chris
on the
Rose.
show.
I'll say his name now. Chris
Okay,
Rose.
Ramon Peralta is coming on. Okay, but we're back. We're gonna be consistent over the next,
Hey, 7 more shows.
7 more to go to 100. We're working our way to the 100th episode.
CN.
We're very excited about that. Tune in. Tell a friend. We'd love to have you on the show. Hit up Zoe. Don't hit me up. Hit Zoe up so you can come on the show. Leonard, you got anything you want to say to this? Okay, I don't know if you've done this activity with us yet. I want you to give this to the people in the community.
Okay.
So we've been doing this thing where we say, speak life into a brother. But what I want to do today, we're going to take off the brother and we're going to say speak life into a father, specifically to the fathers out there. I want you to give a message to the fathers out there. I don't know if they're having a difficult time. I don't know if they're doing great, but I feel like we need to be able to give them something to keep them in the fight. So go directly into the camera, and I want you to speak life into all the fathers out there that are watching the show and give them a little energy.
So I was thinking about this prior to coming on. One of the best films that I think made in regards to our environment, growing up in urban centers, fathers, children, etc., was, to me, Boys in the Hood. And there's the scene where Trey is in the back seat of the car, and they're going to get revenge for what was Morris Chestnut's character, Ricky.
Ricky's death, yeah.
For his death, and they get to a point, and Trey says, "Let me out."
That's right.
And as fathers, that is a moment where we want to make sure that our children can advocate and respond in those situations. So all the energy and the time that you put in with your child, sometimes we don't see it. We're not there when those things happen. But know that all of that pre-work, all of that energy you put in when they're young, there's going to be a time in their lives where they're going to want to make a decision, and it's going to be because of you. So don't give up. Don't feel like what you're saying to them is not sinking in. Again, sometimes they act like they don't hear you, and but they really are listening and they're watching. And so I just want to make sure that you understand that, when they're ready, there's a saying in education: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And you got to stay there. You got to be present. You got to be there, because when they're ready and they look for you, now you moved on, you given up, you frustrated with them, and now they're like, well, where are you? So stay in the pocket. Know that what you're doing is working, and link with other brothers, other fathers.
That's right.
You need support. You need other men to help guide you, so that you're not feeling like you're in this alone. So just be there. And I know that sounds simple, but at the same time, that is one of the most powerful things we can do for our children.
I love it. This has been the Manhood Tree Podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday. Hey, like and follow the page on Facebook. Check out the new. I'm getting a new website soon. My name's Abdul Rahman bin Muhammad. That's Alonzo Lee Beckett, and this is Leonard Epps. Give it up for him.
Peace.
We'll be back next Tuesday.